Joe Biden is officially president-elect.
Yes, he is.
Officially, yeah. Officially. The Electoral College confirmed him yesterday. No, we knew it was already known that it was going to be yesterday. The date was already set ahead, 12th, I think, of December. And he has been confirmed. He's officially president-elect.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, you know, many people actually still thought Trump might stand a chance with the Electoral College. There were some people that were still arguing it, like, you know, the Electoral College, they have the final say, anything can still happen. So some Americans were actually waiting to see what will happen. Whether there will be a sudden twist.
It's coping against all hope.
Talking about college, by the way, did you guys know that WAEC, the Nigerian... WAEC actually put out yesterday, after a very long meeting last week from about Thursday to Saturday, that they are going to be stopping candidates who have been found guilty of cheating. You will not be able to write the exams again. And I'm wondering whether this is not too hard on the young ones.
So there are a lot of people that cheated their way into college. A lot of people did.
I have names.
But the thing is, some people, I've heard from people that said they cheated because they had failed so many times that they just thought that was the only way to finally get there, you know. But I don't know if completely barring them from the exam is the right answer.
Does that happen
I don't
anywhere?
know.
I feel like we major on minors so much.
Yeah,
here.
it would seem.
We major on minors. Like, really? There are 1,001 things we'll talk about. We should reform education and all of that. And I don't know.
There's a Yoruba saying that, you know, beheading someone is not the cure for headaches.
Say it in Yoruba. I love it when she goes into her Yoruba mood. I love it.
I was trying my best not to go into that. But seriously, this is very harsh. You don't ban people from an examination for life. You could give them like, okay, you can't do this in the next 2 years or 5 years.
Or maybe all of that is...
It's even too much. I mean, and how can you verify? Can an invigilator just stand up and say this person cheated? Do you have evidence?
So
anybody can just decide to be malicious.
Yes.
Very true.
Exactly.
Do you have, and they say this person cheated and then proof, and then that person is now gone.
For
That
life.
person's life, basically.
Let's not start the show on that mode. I'm sorry. And I'm the one that even started it.
Yeah, he's not to miss 1 year or 2.
But anyway,
that is the West African examination.
Yeah.
So that's across West Africa. So that is a very, very
The
big
NECO said
deal.
the same thing.
Hang on, guys. Mike is here. I wanted to say again another congratulations. AJ, you weren't here yesterday. I wanted to talk about the fact that he guess how much he
AJ, so the big one is him and
£100 million pounds is not much.
It's not much.
It is.
Maybe.
What car do you drive?
I mean, I drive like this Benz with pride.
Tell you guys what. Welcome once again inside Wake Up Nigeria. Let's do the weather and then on to some news and then sports.
And it's time for the news update. And we begin this hour in Katsina State, where the state governor, Aminu Masari, has confirmed that the abductors have contacted his government and discussions were already on pertaining to the safety and safe return of the students. The governor revealed this in Daura when he paid a visit to President Muhammadu Buhari to brief him on the current situation of the state. According to the president's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president received an assurance from Governor Masari of steady progress to bring them out unharmed. The governor was in a company of his deputy, Manir Yakubu.
We are having positive responses. There was a contact from the kidnappers to the parents of one of the pupils, and we have also made some contact with some of them, and we have a fair idea of the locations where the children are, and I think the military and other security agencies are right now in the forest to make sure that they are rescued unharmed. So I think there is positive development so far.
Now to reports of another abduction, this time in Niger State, where a clergyman has been killed and not less than 19 people abducted by gunmen in Ogu and Tegina communities in Rafi local government area of the state. This, according to the Chief of Staff to Rafi local government chairman, Mohammed, a resident of Ogu, says the attackers stormed the community on Sunday morning and started shooting into the air. They allegedly abducted 6 persons from Ogu, 4 of them members of one family, while 2 others were visitors to the community. They were also said to have made away with valuables. Similarly, the attack on Tegina community was said to have happened at around 12:30 a.m. on Monday, with 16 people abducted. The pastor with the evangelical church Winning All, Jeremiah Ibrahim, was killed on Friday by gunmen in Chukuba community in Shiroro local government area. Now, let's turn our attention to Cross River State, where the police command has confirmed that only 3 suspected armed robbers escaped from its cell in Diamond Hills, and not 19 as reported. Police Public Relations Officer in Cross River State, Irene Ugbo, said 2 of the escapees were unlucky as they were gunned down while trying to attack the police who attempted to rearrest them. She said 1 person has been rearrested and put back into the cell. The state police spokesperson blamed the congestion of the cell on the Calabar Correctional Service Center. The Commissioner of Police, Abductor Jimo, has ordered investigations into the incident, while all officers on duty were sanctioned. And that's all we have time for on the news right now. It's about time for sports.
Welcome back. So now let's do a small game. See how many headlines we can get through inside of the dailies for Tuesday here today, the 15th of December 2020. We start with the Daily Trust. We're negotiating with abductors, Masari tells Buhari. No contact with kidnappers yet, say parents, and 16 more Kankara students back. How to rescue students, say experts, and it's one tragedy too many, JNI, Shoyinka Northern Group say. More headlines inside the Daily Trust. COVID-19 spike, YFG's home care policy is unsustainable, and gridlock cost of moving container from Lagos port rises to 1.2 million naira. Sultan to military occupy Lake Chad Sempisa forest already. And at the bottom of the Daily Trust, armed thugs disrupt Northern Group's security meeting at Arawa House. Now we're going to move on to the Guardian newspaper for this morning, and big headline here: despair as hoodlums sack security meeting in Kaduna. Attackers injure participants, cart away valuables. Masari briefs president on Kankara abduction. Sultan queries FG's political will. Northern elders restate call for sack of service chiefs. Foreign help. Abduction of students, a slap on Buhari's face, say the JNI. And Northern News call for restructuring arms for citizens. UN laments kidnap of students. And also inside of the Guardian newspaper, at the bottom there, you find the photo story: President Muhammadu Buhari and Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari during the governor's visit to brief the president on the Kankara school abductions at the president's house in Dara, Katsina State. We take a look at the top of the Guardian here. Crisis looms in Ghana as Mahama rejects presidential poll result, and Shoyinka flays Buhari for failing to speak on insecurity. NMA confirms second coronavirus wave, seeks safer vaccines for Nigerians, and Army fumigates headquarters as 26 officers test positive for the coronavirus. That's for the Guardian newspaper. Now we are going to be moving on to The Nation. Big headline: military abducted pupils taken away on motorcycles. Makes you wonder how many motorcycles for 333 students. And kidnappers demand ransom, end to aerial surveillance. Northern elders, JNI slam government, and UN, NLC, others flay boys kidnap. At the top of The Nation, 8 more army generals test positive for the coronavirus. And Zenith Bank's GMD Onyegu names SERAS CEO of the year. Soldier killed as gunmen abduct foreigner in Oyo State. Federal government ASU talks put off yet again. As much as we can take now for The Nation, and we move on to the Punch newspaper, making good speed here. Bandits first took schoolboys to neighboring villages, say the residents. And I relocated from Kankara to Katsina after I was kidnapped twice, says LG worker. Shoyinka lampoons presidency's response to killings, say Buhari not in charge. And Monarchs Council queries why military can't occupy Lake Chad and the Sempisa forest. A look at a photo story for the Punch newspaper here. A vehicle from Niger Republic intercepted by the Nigerian Customs Service with 73 locally made guns and 891 cartridges at, this is Kebbi State, it says, for the story. Grab the Punch to find that one. And hindrance to APC's promise should be weeded out, says Tinubu. Church founder, herbalists get 4-year imprisonments for trading in human parts, and police vow crackdown on Ogun mob kills a traveler, as Ogun mob kills travelers and burns cars. At the top of the Punch, fuel imports gulped 700.46 billion naira in 3 months, say the NBS. And that's as much as we can take for the headlines this morning. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way. It's only the first hour here for Wake Up Nigeria. We've got Daily Vulnerables makes a comeback in just a bit.
I believe we are where we are.
This is where we are, considering that you'd expect us to be in the kitchen for coffee gist, but hey, come on.
Yeah,
We wanted to make it more inclusive, you know. Mazino has always been...
I wasn't complaining, oh.
Okay. Mazino, I'll record the meeting.
It's good to have you guys here inside for the...
Thank you for allowing us into your space.
You're welcome. Would you
Because
like
our
some tea?
space,
I don't
our space
understand.
can't take you, but your space is
Apparently,
wider.
this is your living room, so
You know,
we are in your space.
we love
Always
to
a
drop.
pleasure to be sitting next to Mary.
There's been quite a lot happening, though.
I would always love to spread good cheer, but we're going to rant a little bit this morning. A little bit. And it's needed sometimes, because sometimes good cheer might be getting off some things to the chest.
Yes, indeed.
Depends on how loud the chest is, by the way.
So,
But straight up, we know about the story concerning Omale and Thames, two beautiful new school. What do we call them now? New school artists, or
There's
what's that?
always new school.
There's always a new
What's that
school.
term? What's that term
budding.
they give them?
Let's say budding.
But they are wonderful. A lot of people love them. They have different. They sound unique. You hear them and you want to listen
Especially
to them.
Thames.
Thames, yeah. You know, lovely young people doing so well. They have been arrested in Uganda. Okay, so the update, a lot of people know the story, but the thing is now, they are in prison right now. They will be charged to court later today,
Where, in
Wednesday.
Nigeria?
No,
In Uganda.
tomorrow, in Uganda.
Yeah, I knew the answer to that. I just wanted to emphasize
So
on
they've
that.
been different prisons. I think one is Kigo prison. I've forgotten the name of the other prison. But they will be charged. They went to court yesterday. They'll be in court again tomorrow, Wednesday, and they were led in handcuffs to the prison. Okay, so yeah, of course, it's Omale and Thames. If you don't know what's happening, maybe you've been living under a rock. They were arrested in Uganda and charged with let me look for the official charge now. Okay, so the point is that they held the country, broke COVID-19 regulations,
Yes.
protocols and all of that. But they headlined a concert that was organized by Ugandans.
Oh.
They headlined the concert, so they were arrested with 4 other Ugandans.
Organizers?
I hope they are. I hope they are. But the point is, you see, there's the way Africa thinks. You heard these guys are coming in. I mean, you heard the P Square, Paul, Whiskey Boy in Equatorial Guinea for the president's son's wedding. You know these guys are coming in big concert. But it's almost like what happens in Unilag. You know, that one-way road.
You wait
They
for
sit
it
down
to
and wait
happen.
for you to make the mistake,
And
and
then
then they
they
charge
catch
you what they want to get. You knew they were coming in. You knew that maybe you could have stopped the concert before it even started. So there's a lot I want to talk about.
That's a very big disservice because you let the concert happen.
You
And
let
if
it.
these are supposed to be, they were supposed to go through or you go with the COVID-19 protocols that they had set down, then they broke themselves because they let it happen. So somebody in their camp should also be arrested
So
for
I
actually
actually
letting it
saw
happen.
a tweet, whether it's a Facebook post or something, was quite long, by a Ugandan artist, Bibi Coco or thereabout. And he said, why will foreign artists be brought into the country that there have been COVID-19 regulations and they, Ugandan artists, are starving? The government, whatever palliatives or whatever it is that was given, did not get to the entertainment industry. And now that entertainment is beginning to pick up again, you did not focus the events on Ugandan artists alone, but you brought in Nigerian artists. And he swore that do anything he can to put an end to it or to make sure the event fails.
Sounds like jealousy to me.
No, so if they had stopped the event, it does make sense. So whatever we wants to say, what I'm angry about is that, look, you put your own people at risk.
Exactly.
So let's say there's a super spreader and something happens, all those people catch it. You knew what's going to happen. There should have been people
They
at the
allowed
gate.
it,
They should have stopped it.
So that said, my question now is, what are we doing? What's the Nigerian mission doing to try and get these guys right? Because it's not that criminal. Well, it might be criminal, but you didn't kill somebody.
They said they face up to 7 years.
7 years.
Yes, they
where
got
in
it.
a
And
Ugandan prison.
It's a scary thought.
Yes.
It is. So our foreign ministry, from what I heard, our foreign ministry is being blocked from. And I look, things happen between countries. There's a reason for diplomacy. You know, some people extradite people and say, okay, you go take care of them because we have this kind of relationship with you, because we know you are this. You understand? This is Nigeria. This tells you how far we probably have fallen.
So the question now is, what sort of relationship do we as a country have with Uganda? What sort of foreign relations conversations are happening right now? And in quote, are these artists considered important enough for our foreign
As far as the
minister
Nigerian mission is concerned, every
citizen is
Nigerian
not
is
about-
important.
So when I say important enough,
every
I'm
citizen,
saying if it was a bigger artist.
No.
Don't you
Shouldn't
believe
matter.
something would have happened
That
by
shouldn't
now?
matter.
It
That
has to
shouldn't
do
matter.
with the personality,
That
as
shouldn't
in
matter.
the fact that
As a
you are a
Nigerian,
Nigerian.
exactly.
However, my own is this: it's a lesson to everybody. When you're going into a country, it's important to know the regulations
Yes, very
there.
true.
Know you have to follow the protocols. It's often said that when you're in Rome, you act like a Roman.
Yeah.
So it also falls on the management. What was done? Was there research carried out? And then, of course, all of these agitations and unrest and talks about we don't want this. Were you really paying attention to it, or you thought you could get away with it? Because whatever happens, this is a country, and this is a country that wants to enforce the law, obviously. So it might even be
You want to
beyond.
enforce it, you should have stopped the concept from happening. That's my own.
Tell you what I'll
How
say,
many
yeah?
people
That's my
stop
own. You should have
criminals
stopped it before it
from committing
happened.
crime?
Whether we like
Shall
it
we
or
know
not,
it or
let's
shall?
just note
Last.
that we
No, I
are
don't think
still
that's the case. I
inside
don't
of a
think so.
pandemic, and whatever it is that you're going to be doing, you want to obey these protocols, especially now that it's been noted that we are inside the second wave of the
Very
infections.
Don't be a COVID-idiot.
Yeah, don't be a
Wow,
COVID yet.
that's
Tell you what,
tweetable.
let's do a break. We've got more coming up inside this hour for Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you for saying to that Chef Shebio Timor is the one in the kitchen this morning, and I am super excited about what she's making for us this morning. Of course, you're welcome again. It's the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Something new, something interesting to learn every day when you tune into the show. So, Chef Shebio Timor, what is for breakfast? Tell me about it.
Something light, as usual.
I want you fouls. Okay. So what's this light thing for breakfast?
We are doing egusi soup.
And she said something light.
Yes, why I said something light, we are not using our normal swallow. We are doing agidi.
Oh, agidi and
It's a breakfast trend.
egusi
Something
soup.
like, yes.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
Our meat.
Okay, so what's in here? I can see different kinds of meat. There's
pomo.
There's pomo.
There's fish.
Beef.
There's fish.
There's fish in it?
Yes, there is.
Oh, I see it.
There's
Oh, wow.
fish. And our melon.
Okay, yes, the blended melon as well.
Yes. Our locust beans. The
So
secret
this
of
is
the
the
recipe.
blended melon.
Yes.
Now, some people like to put crayfish
There
into
is
it.
crayfish.
So is there black pepper as well? Some people grind black pepper.
No. You know, when you are doing for public, you have to be careful in
What you
putting-
impute,
Yeah.
because some people might not like certain items.
Exactly.
Okay, so
And this is our meat stock
meat stock.
Yes.
Okay, so
and
this
our
is the meat
crayfish,
stock. The crayfish.
onions, and our pepper meat.
Okay, so crayfish is what actually enhances
Yeah.
it.
There's
So
vegetable.
there's something
there's
magical about crayfish.
We are putting water leaf to as a vegetable.
Water leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Vegetable. So
All right. So what's the process?
our red oil.
Red oil first. So I hope we are not going to set this place on fire.
No, not at all.
So I learned a trick that I think you might find very useful. When it comes to cooking with red oil, there's something you can do to save yourself of stress. Now, you bleach the oil in large quantity. You go outside your house, put on your cooking utensils there, and then bleach the oil. When you finish bleaching the oil, save it in your container. That way, you save yourself of cough and the rest, so affecting your family members that might be asthmatic.
When you're talking of bleaching oil, it's not even good for you to. It's not
Healthy?
It's not healthy
Really?
for you to eat.
How so?
In fact, what you can only do is you can take the pepper, the water
Out of the oil. But how
it's
do
more
you take the
healthier
pepper?
than
The oil, the water out of the oil. How do you do that?
some people sell it like that. But most market women will tell you no, they are not selling the water. But it's more healthier. So bleaching the whole of the oil is you have taken the whole nutrient of it.
Okay.
So you can just do it moderately. I'm trying to make this our cooker hot, so we can put the.
So you just learned another one. If you want to stay healthier or eat healthier, try as much as possible.
Bleaching is so hard; it's not good for the body. You have taken the whole of the nutrient, but you can do it moderately. Your onions, put everything.
I was about to ask you, so what's the process? What is this?
That's blended onions.
Blended onions. I like the color.
Thank
Really
you.
cute. I could have sworn it's salt. Okay, so let's talk about it. How are we going to go about the process? First thing first.
My red oil.
Your red oil.
Yes.
Okay. So you said no bleaching, so you're just going to pour it in.
Not that I'm not going to bleach it, but it's not going to be that bad that to the
turn
extent
black.
of now turning black and
Hey,
all,
but you know there are
making it so terrific. No.
There's some local meals that require you actually bleaching it to black.
That's where we're going.
Ewa going.
We're going. It's not the.
How about fada sauce?
Fada sauce. It's not the bleaching that makes it. It's the pepper. You use for the fada sauce. You use unripe. So that's why it's...
What about the other one?
Yeah, we're going. It's the pepper.
It's the pepper.
It has a particular pepper. Maybe our next show, that's what I'll do.
I think you should, because I would like to learn more about
so
this.
it's not about the pepper. It's the oil. It's the pepper.
Okay.
So
we're going to wait for this to boil, right?
We are trying to
fry. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So we pour in the onions, right?
I'm trying to let it be a little bit hot. I think I'm not getting it right.
Okay, so we will continue with this, not to worry. We'll bleach. She said she's not bleaching. But we are going to lightly bleach the oil and then we'll start the cooking process. Yes. Right now, however, we'll just continue here and take it over to Titi. She's on standby with health, of course, with Dr. Ayorena. Hi, Titi.
Thank you, Mary. And it's about time for us to take our health segment. We have the one and only noisy Naija pediatrician, Dr. Ayorena, in the studio with us today. And we're going to be talking a bit about the importance of doing, the do's and don'ts of the first 28 days for a newborn. Welcome to the show.
Yay, hello Titi. Hi, Mom.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, you came. Yeah. Hi, really nice to see you, Titi.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You came with your megaphone, I can see.
Please, can I have it? Thank you.
You want to
very
see
much,
it, but
please.
you can't use it.
I know.
You can't use it, but you can hold it.
This is, as you see on the internet, say loud it for the people at the back.
Okay.
For the people at the back, they've left the class. Loud it. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So why are we louding this particular issue?
Okay, so this particular issue is when concerning children in the first month of life. So the first 28 days of life are very important, such that if any child below 5 years is going to die, it's likely going to happen in the first 28 days of life. And so the first 28 days of life are so critical for us, so we need to tell parents what to do and what not to do in that critical period.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so I need to pick this up. Yeah, let's take this. It's off, right?
Yes, it's off.
It's off completely. Let's put that on the side there. So I need to ask the first point, the very first thing parents need to either do or not do in the first 28 days of life.
Now, what if a newborn was to write a CV, the top of the application would be to eat. So
we have to show them something quickly. Let's show them what you're talking about. But we'll be talking about that a little bit after this. And we're back. Dr. Ayorena in the building. Yeah. So the first 28 days of life, very critical. Not a lot of parents understand how critical that particular time is. You were talking about a particular point. Let's go back to that point right now.
Yes, I was saying that if a newborn was to write his CV, the first competency that he will actually put on the CV is feeding, because that's the most important job a newborn is to do. A newborn is to feed. And ideally, a newborn should be put to the breast within the first 1 hour after delivery, whether it's a cesarean section or it's a vaginal delivery. That needs to happen, and that helps to just set the tone and set the pace for what will happen for the rest of that bonding period that the mother and child are going to have. And you really don't want an infant to sleep for more than 3 hours without feeding. So some mothers tend to just allow the baby to just sleep 4 hours, 5 hours. But as much as possible, max, don't let a child go over, a newborn baby go over 4 hours without feeding. So if a newborn has slept for 3-4 hours, please wake them up, even if you just get sick, and then you can let them go back to bed. So feeding, very important. And of course, breast milk is definitely best. Okay.
All right. So that's one of the do's. What's one of the don'ts?
Now, one of the don'ts, when it comes to feeding is that when you are feeding, first of all, I mean, as I've said, breast milk is definitely best, and formula is an option, but please make sure that you discuss the options for formula with your physician, before you commence formula, because it does have some of its own drawbacks in terms of, allergies to cow's milk and, allergies to cow's milk protein. And also when it comes to feeding, also make sure that the bottle, if you must bottle feed, make sure that the bottle is well sterilized, because that can really be a sort of harbor for germs and viruses that can cause trouble.
All right. So that's the first few hours. Now, the parents have got to hang off the feeding schedule. Maybe every 2.5, 3 hours they're feeding newborn. What's the next do that they need to know?
So the next do is make sure that you're taking care of the umbilical cord. Now, the umbilical cord is very important in the sense that if an infection is going to get into the baby one way or the other, the umbilical cord is probably the most likely route of entry. And that means that, you have to, usually in most hospitals, what's recommended by the WHO is that you actually use a gel called chlorhexidine gel. Now, chlorhexidine gel is applied just once a day, and as a matter of fact, you should try to leave the umbilical cord outside the diaper rather than tucked into the diaper, because if it bleeds, if it starts to look odd, then if it's out of the diaper, you're more likely to notice it, and it's likely to get drier faster when it is out of the diaper rather than tucked in. And so we don't want you to use anything like herbs or anything like, I mean, I've heard some stories whereby some people use cow dung. Actually, yes. Yes, so you do see those sorts of things, and I've had.
But there's agbo now. The local agbo. The grandma said we should put agbo there.
So those aren't very safe either. So agbo a no go as far as the umbilical cord is concerned. Okay,
all right, fantastic. So that's a do or a don't.
Yes,
that's a don't and a do.
That's a do. Use chlorhexidine gel, and then don't use anything else. Don't use herbs or anything else. Abroad, actually, what they just do is that they just say clean with water and then leave it exposed and then make sure that it dries by itself. But I kind of get the feeling that the bacteria here in environment actually they have a master's degree in infecting people. So you really don't want to just mess around with that bacteria here.
All right. So the parents that are probably writing notes right now,
they should.
What is the next thing that they're going to be jotting down as quickly as possible?
Okay. So the next thing that they really should be taking consideration into is bathing time. So how should you bathe a newborn? Ideally, you should bathe a newborn just once a day. Some people say that you should actually bathe the newborn twice or thrice a week, but I wouldn't recommend that for a very hot and humid environment. So what you want to do is that bathe them once a day in the morning with water that is really between 37 and 38 degrees. You want to go higher than that because that tends to dry out the skin of the newborn. So make sure that you're bathing them just once in the morning, and in the evening all you need is a warm washcloth, because they are not going to a factory to go and carry cement. So that really is what you. So they're not going to market. So you just want to make sure that their skin is clean. If not, you'll have a lot of skin irritation and rashes and stuff you really don't want your newborn to have.
All right then. At that point, we're going to take a quick break and we will be back with more. Welcome back. And we have Dr. Ayorena in the building, and we've been talking about the most important do's and don'ts for the first 28 days of life. Some amazing points you've brought up already. And if you missed it, please visit our social media pages. Later on, we'll be putting all of that out there one more time. But I know there's still some very salient points you need to give us.
Very important. And so I don't want to be the person that pokes, the grandmother and the grandmas that come for the omugo, but unfortunately it's inevitable. I have to poke them. Because there are lots of rituals that we do, in our environment, and unfortunately, while they might be you might think they are good, but sometimes they can cause harm. So, for instance, there are it's a tradition in some places that babies get a sort of massage. That's more than a massage, actually. It's the pulling. So they pull and they fold and they bend sometimes the baby up, because the baby is thrown up because they feel like, the baby will lose fear. The baby will be very fearless, a warrior, a fight. So they kind of do that, and I've actually experienced it that a grandmother threw the baby up. Her hands were slippery with soap, and the baby actually fell through her hands, landed on the ground, and unfortunately the child didn't make it. The child actually died. So at the end of the day, while you might think, this is just harmless practice, but when it does go south, it goes south really bad. And so you really don't want to be flinging any newborn baby up, especially not with soapy hands. And so we want to avoid that altogether. So that's a don't. So don't fling the baby up, because it really doesn't prevent the child from having any sort of fear or anything like that. Then the other thing, of course, is regards to jaundice. If any newborn baby is going to be admitted in the first few days of life, it's going to be because of jaundice. So how do you prevent jaundice? One, make sure that you don't rub any form of mentholatum on yourself or on the baby, because some people tend to want to do that and they rub mentholatum on their hands and
menthol.
Yes, menthol, actually. So
those vapor rubs.
The vapor rubs, and the likes. And so they do that because they feel like, it keeps the baby warm, and that isn't really accurate, because it doesn't keep the baby warm. It just gives the sensation of keeping the baby warm, but it really doesn't keep the baby warm. And I've seen a situation whereby they were using menthol on the child, and on the day of the naming ceremony, the child actually died because the jaundice level had shot up to significant levels. So please don't use menthol, don't use pawpaw water to treat jaundice because it isn't proven to actually work. So also don't just rely only on early morning sun. Make sure that the level of the jaundice has been tested in the hospital and that they are certain that early morning sun is something that can actually deal with it.
Dr. Ayorena always has those points short and sharp for us, and we know that he'll be available to answer your questions on social media. Just check us out with our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Please make sure you come back again next week.
I definitely will.
All right, then at this point, we have to head to our music segment, and we have the one and only Haladin about to perform. Take it away.
Mimo, mimo, solo mimo, don't ba mimo, ben you cook up them. Mimo, mimo, solo mimo, don't ba mimo, ben you cook up them. Mimo, mimo, solo mimo, don't ba mimo, ben you cook up them. Cause I know like you know me, say I wish you bad. The feeling is mutual, cause you don't get the money, you won't do ritual. You won't do ritual. Hold you any mala, Maria. Hold you any mala, Maria. Anytime baby, Lariba. No, they rush, let's be calming down. Make my time no pass before me. Make them no use how like you know me. Bless me today, oh Lord. Give me the grace, oh Lord. Based on believe I know. Ipo milaye ibigi ganyo. Asomo mimo olujo mimo. Farayola mo faraye mi mimo. Mimo mimo. Solo mimo. Gba mimo. Gani ko gba pe mi. Mimo mimo. Solo mimo. Gba mimo. Gani ko gba pe mi. Gani ko gba pe mi kile chokpe mi. Alpha, Omega, me. Physically, spiritually, strengthen me, make I overcome enemy. No be my power and no be my might. No be my doing. Every day I'm a pray. Check over, wait. And I did. Me party yo wa. Shemuraisha. Be kwe sheshi.
Nice. That was really nice. Awesome stuff. Well done. Well done. Really nice. There's nothing like a great performance early in the morning. Something to get you jigging, you know, to improve your mood, make you smile and feel good. And you know, with music comes good food. There's a balance that food gives to music. Like, you're enjoying good vibes and you're throwing something in your mouth. Yeah. And that's why we have Chef Shebi Otimor here preparing breakfast for us this morning. And this morning, she's giving us agidi and egusi soup. Fantastic, right? Okay. So far, so good. You've been busy doing this, doing that. Tell us what you've done so far, because we need to understand what this is about.
Yes, this is my melon, which is the egusi. What I just add to it is onions.
You know what? Just hold on. As you can see, the ingredients are currently on your screen right now. What we're using to make breakfast this morning, egusi soup with eko or agidi, as some people call it. So you might want to quickly scribble those down while we get on with what we are about here.
Yes.
So
I mix my egusi with my blended onions.
Yeah. So I noticed you did that. Which is best, with cutlery or with your hands?
Yes.
You
can use anyone that is comfortable for you.
Okay.
You know, some people, I use both.
Okay.
Now I use both.
Just make sure you wash your hands thoroughly.
Yes.
Of course, we know hygiene is very important when it comes to food. So the blended onions was mixed with the egusi. That's the grinded
I'm trying to make
melon rather.
Fry. So what I want to do precisely is I don't want this melon to get scattered. I want it to be as if you're eating meat.
Okay, okay.
Some people mix this with egg just for it. You know, most times after stirring, putting all this in, to get scattered.
Yes.
But at least to some extent, there should be a kind
so
of...
it's a case of having chewy egusi.
Yes.
So we are frying the egusi. Now I wonder, I've always seen egusi being fried for meals and all. Why is it that we don't turn it to a snack? Has anybody ever thought of it, like fried egusi? The same way we have akara, we have others.
You can't.
Why can't you do
because, that? Because after, now, if I'm trying to turn it now, to get scattered, you can't get it like that. But at least to some extent, not everything will get blended. You still have some that will be lumps in like that.
Okay, okay.
I'm trying to make it.
So are you going to put more into it?
I want to.
Okay. So you just make it into balls, see? So you use your spoon to put it in. Very easy. There's nothing complicated about this process. Just make it into balls.
I'm trying to wait for the oil to get more water so I can start putting
the pepper.
I didn't put water at all.
Okay.
No water, because when you put water it will be watery.
Okay.
This water leaf has water inside.
Plenty of water in it. So that's enough for the...
Yeah, that's enough for it. That's what I'm trying to... That's what's the unique part of it. People put water in egusi.
Yes.
At the end of the day, to get watery and you might
yes,
not
but you
like
know, egusi can be very thick. So that's why people put in water. Yes. You know, to reduce the thickness and make it smoother, the consistency.
You are trying to make this... You can actually eat this as... If you are going on a diet to loss, you can use this as a meal.
Egusi?
Yes, sir.
Egusi has plenty of cholesterol.
Well...
in fact,
it's still good for you now.
Well, it's good, but it does have plenty of cholesterol. So you might want to
not eating it every day.
Eat it moderately,
sometimes you get tired of this easily. So it's just once in a while. You can. If I should ask now, when last did you make egusi, you will be like cracking.
Don't try my egusi soup.
Yeah, I am Ijebu girl.
Hey, don't try my... See, let's even leave whether Ijebu or Igbo or whatever. Don't try my egusi soup.
Are you telling me?
Egusi that has 20 lives. That went to University of Ibadan.
Oh my God.
With first class honors.
Oh my God.
See, okay.
I'm putting my pepper.
The pepper goes in now, okay.
Yes.
How much pepper is this? Now, if I want to buy the amount of egusi to use for this, how much will I get it in the market?
With 300 naira, you're buying a derica of egusi now.
300 naira. And it's possible to buy it blended, right?
Yes, now. They will do that for you. They will ask you, you want it blended?
You want it blended. Do you have to pay extra to blend it?
No extra.
Okay, okay.
I'm putting in my low-cost beans.
Okay. But how much pepper goes into it? Just a bit of it, like 300 naira pepper as well. Oh, but it has to be blended this way. You know there are different ways to blend pepper. You
can use your grater. You can use your mortar. That's
It doesn't have to be the smooth blended pepper. No. Okay, so to achieve Chef Shebi Otimo style, you need to make use of grated pepper or the one blended with your mortar. Do people still do that?
Yes, now. I have a customer. He will tell you, I don't want you to use blender or anything. I want your hand.
How can you tell?
Are you paying for that service? I want... you tell now.
How can you tell? Grater will do the same thing.
No, the taste...
because the mortar used to leave stone inside.
You know, that's what we are used to when we are growing up. I remember myself using that thing very well.
Olo. Yes. Olo. I think everybody has one in their backyard, especially in your family house. There is in my house too.
You know, I deal with different people. They will tell you what I want is this. And I will ask, how will you know? Say, don't worry.
My younger sister is a fan of Olo. Like, to make her pepper, Dami will always want it to be...
It's not everybody that likes it too. It's so tired.
See, this meal is looking good already. And with all these proteins being added onto it, I think I need to step back and watch instead of having to talk about it. So much going into it. This one is Elemi Mewa. We have reached the top of the first hour. We have more for you on the show, but that's if you stay with us on Wake Up Nigeria.
No man is your enemy, no man is your friend, but every man is your teacher. Well, it's a saying that I say to get me through each day. You never expect too much from people. You just simply learn from them and the circumstances that present themselves.
Life can be a bit of a handful. Learning from every single experience puts you that one step ahead. of everyone else out there. Welcome to the second leg of the #1 breakfast show in the country. We're going to be sharing a few more nuggets on life very, very soon.
Yes, indeed. Coming up, lots of food, parenting lessons for you young families, and plenty of Mary, of course, coming your way. We aim to balance.
I like the sound of that.
Yes,
and Chef Shebio Tima as well.
Well, we're going to try and balance that work and fun ratio for you. So only if you stick around for the next 1 hour until just about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're going to be breaking bread with you at the start of every single day. And we hope that that magic stays with you throughout.
Yes, indeed. Magic. Hang on. Magic. Are we? Is this a Walt Disney kind of? Is there a frog that needs to be kissed or something like that?
Are you the frog?
Feel free. We're going to be breaking into song, perhaps, maybe sometime. Maybe like, Kuna Matata.
Oh, well.
What a wonderful phrase.
I'm not breaking into song with you. But it is all about fun, and we have a fun-filled 1 hour to go, as you can tell.
Oh, definitely. Remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show in Nigeria.
Yeah, watch us live from anywhere across the world. Use our mobile app for iOS or indeed on Google Play.
Yes,
What's
indeed.
left on the show, though?
All right, so we take a walk down memory lane. To look at the most significant things that have happened, and of course for the latest in the world of technology and also parenting, we've still got a guest coming in who's going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about that parenting balance in how you try to bring up your children.
So I've often wondered, I like to ask the opinion of people on that particular issue. How do you balance out your parenting style with your partner? Some people grew up in a tougher environment than others.
I like good cop, bad cop.
Does it really work?
Yeah. Also, we have Emeka Nwagboracha who's going to be joining us. He's an actor, and we're going to be learning from him as well.
Yeah,
interesting
in
stuff.
the movie Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake.
And Grace.
And Grace, exactly.
Yep.
All right. That should be interesting.
About parenting.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about parenting myself.
Wow. You didn't think I was raised properly? What you got to say?
Do you want us to get started on that? That's actually not what I wanted to talk about. There was something I was sharing with you guys earlier that I think we should share. It had to do with a certain incident that took place recently where somebody's mom, a wealthy individual in Nigeria, his mom was kidnapped. 100 million naira was demanded as ransom.
Yeah.
And he went straight, he's a rich person, so he's influential as well. Went straight to CBN, give me minted notes, marked the notes, gave it to the kidnappers, got his mom back, informed banks that anybody who comes with this money, notify the police.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And to cut the long story short, the people who brought the money...
Let me guess, his family members?
No.
Police officers.
Police officers.
Lieutenant, in fact, they even indicated the assistant commissioner of police. Say, this I find it really worrisome because the problem is when we talk about parenting, it shows that so many people lack proper upbringing. And for those who actually got good upbringing, how are they improving upon themselves? Because it's one thing for your parents to teach you, it's another thing for you to teach yourself. It's a big problem.
It's hard to be. So in today's parenting world now, kids are exposed to so much, a lot more than we were exposed to as kids. The level of respect that parents are they even need to give their kids in order to get the respect back. Now is on another level. But I'm wondering what the actual punishment
Look
is
here. Don't worry about Mike.
I'm wondering, what was your parents' punishment for you if you lied? If you just told them.
I was trying to get the correlation between that story, because I really wanted to. How did parenting get into the story?
Because it's greed.
It's
greed, and it's
there's something your parents teach you. Have you? In Yoruba they say ojukokoro.
Okay.
Ojukokoro means gluttony, greed. You're never satisfied with what you have.
To an extent,
and it's a foundational
character. It's a foundational character.
It
is.
Contentment.
Okay, you know what?
I would love to know on social media.
Next Friday is Christmas, so I don't know. We have to find a way and make ourselves and you to smile.
Yes.
Maybe when we go on social media, we have to find a way to smile.
I tried to sing. You
smart.
guys did not join me in the song.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh yeah, let's sing. Let's go. Let's go.
You're not singing again.
We'll sing you again.
We'll sing it on his birthday.
Yeah,
Wow.
on his birthday. He doesn't have birthday. But you know birthday.
And it's about time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. We begin this hour in Katsina State. In Katsina State, where Governor Aminu Masari has confirmed that the abductors have contacted his government and discussions are already on pertaining to safety and return of the students. The governor revealed this in Daura when he paid a visit to President Muhammadu Buhari to brief him on the current situation of the state. According to the president's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president received an assurance from Governor Masari on steady progress to bring them out unharmed. The governor was in a company of his deputy Manir Yakubu.
We are having positive responses. There was a contact from the kidnappers to the parents of one of the pupils, and we have also made some contact with some of them, and we have a fair idea of the locations where the children are, and I think the military and other security agencies are right now in the forest to make sure that they are rescued unharmed. So I think there is positive development so far.
And now to reports of another abduction, this time in Niger State, where a clergyman has been killed and not less than 19 people abducted by gunmen in Ogu and Tegina communities in Rafi local government area of the state. This, according to the Chief of Staff to Rafi local government chairman, Mohammed Mohammed, a resident of Ogu, said the attackers stormed the community on Sunday morning and started shooting into the air. They allegedly abducted 6 persons from Ogu, 4 of them members of one family, while 2 others were visitors to the community. They were also said to have made away with valuables. Similarly, the attack on Tegina community was said to have happened at around 12:30 a.m. on Monday, with 16 people abducted. The pastor with the evangelical church Winning All, Jeremiah Ibrahim, was killed on Friday by gunmen in Chokuba community in Shiroro local government area. Now let's turn our attention to Cross River State, where the police command has confirmed that only 3 suspected armed robbers escaped from its cell in Diamond Hills, and not 19 as reported. Police Public Relations Officer in Cross River State, Irene Ugbo, said 2 of the escapees were unlucky, as they were gunned down by while trying to attack the police who attempted to rearrest them. She said 1 person had been rearrested and put back into the cell. The state police spokesperson blamed the congestion of the cell in Calabar Correctional Service Center, and the Commissioner of Police, Abdukadir Jimo, has ordered investigations into the incident, while all officers on duty will be sanctioned. And that's all we have on the news at this point. Mike, it's all yours for sports. Welcome back. It's about time for us to go into parenting. Full tilt. And today we have Jane Ogoye, our parenting expert for the day. She is the founder of Fab Mom NG. Yeah. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning. Looking great.
Oh, you too. You too. Now, the topic for today is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
A lot of parents probably need to have this discussion.
Yes.
Parenting styles, and how to balance it all. Mm-hmm. So what is the first thing parents need to know about, this particular topic?
So it will start from when you are cutting, ideally. I mean, before you even sign the dotted lines. So these are
sure
conversations.
The man will not run away if you start talking about that?
No, but you say it in a very subtle manner. So you begin with things like the number of children, you would love to have, what type of school, and perhaps your discipline, your parenting or discipline style. Okay. But somehow these things can be deduced from you, the wife knows, you sort of know your husband's temperament, so you can sort of almost guess what his parenting style will be like. But aside from that, even when you get married, it should be an ongoing discussion, because I realized that once you have more than one child, you almost can't use the same parenting style for all of them.
Yeah.
So you sort of adjust to fit the child. So have the discussions. Who is the disciplinarian in the home? Most times it's daddy.
Okay.
And in very rare occasions, it depends on mommy's personalities. You know, in my home, it's my husband.
Okay.
I'm a bit in between. I know when to be firm. I know when to be a bit, you know, soft. I also know when to plead on their behalf when daddy wants to. You guys, you know. So have those conversations. Your parenting style. You should be able to deduce who is the authoritative one, who is sort of laid back, who is a helicopter parent, you know, so know all those things and sort of come to a middle ground.
Okay, so I've spoken to quite a few people on, you know, issues like this before, and they've said developing a new style completely different from what they were taught when they were growing up was important to them.
Yes.
So, you know, you've just said some are already authoritative, some are already mild in what they do. So what about that development of your own unique style?
I always say that for me, I think parenting is, the true definition of parenting for me is parenting your children the way you wished your own parents had raised you.
Okay.
You know, times have changed. Children of these days are smarter. I dare say they're smarter. The world has changed. A child of 2-3-year-old are very assertive compared to when we were growing up. You know, we're sort of, you know, quiet. Where you want to be a bit outspoken, you come across as being rude. But while we are trying to allow our children, you know, express themselves, we should be able to know where to draw the line, because there's a thin line between being expressive, assertive, and being rude.
Okay.
You know, so think about the way you would have loved your mom, your dad to raise you. Most people grew up in homes where daddy was just the breadwinner, you know.
Okay.
Daddy only provides money and mommy is a trainer.
Okay.
Mommy raises the children. So if this was a flaw when you were growing up, I mean, you want to involve your husband as much as possible. As a mom, obviously, you can't afford to be laid back when it comes to parenting, because very few dads, I know a lot are doing their best right now. Very few dads are really big on instilling values, morals. It should be a collaborative effort.
All right, so I'm a little concerned about what you said.
Yeah.
You said, you know, parenting is basically about, you know, not having your kids experience what you experienced, right? The bad sides. But then I've heard that leads to spoiling the kids, because a lot of, you know, kids were deprived of some really nice things when they were, you know, under the guise of training them to be strong. You know, they weren't allowed to eat certain things. Daddy must eat his own first.
Yes.
All those kind of things. But then you have a lot of sport kids out there right now.
Yes. You don't want to raise an entitled child. So your child, that's why you must instill the values that are dear to you.
Okay.
You know, you must establish it. What is it that is dear to you? What do you hold? What are you big on? Are you big on discipline? Are you big on respect? Are you big on hard work? So even if, that's why I always say, even if you have 10,000 nannies, you have 10 nannies, your child should be able to do some basic things.
So I have to actually point out something though. You know, when it comes to kids being who you were, a lot of parents are often in denial that this is who they are. So they often feel like I'm the nice parent, whereas they're actually the more authoritarian parents than the other. I was actually trying to compare my, you know, of course, use myself as an example. For instance, you know, giving a child a punishment and going through with it is different from just making threats. But sometimes the parent that threatens the most is seen to be the hard person. So I know we've been talking a bit more about discipline.
Oh, yes.
But what about actual education of the kids?
Oh, okay. So education, school-wise, is it who supervises the homework?
Exactly.
So that one is a very tricky one. But I know that a lot of dads, we live in very busy times. Mommy is out, dad is out. So parents must find a way to balance it, so that the child is not just used to mommy helping out with homework. Okay. You know, because the child grows up to think that it is the job of a mom. You know, so once in a while, dad should also, you know, step in and take on that role. Even if you are busy from Monday to Friday, at least the weekends, even before you go play, hang out with the guys, You know, just have those conversations with your children. Sometimes it may not even be as formal or as rigid as sit down and let's do your maths. You could also go out with the kids on a date. Even as you're going to buy ice cream for them, you are talking about their studies. So what's your favorite subject? Okay. What subject are you having issues with? Who is your best friend? What will you do if this? You know, so by doing this, you begin to have an idea of your child's personality. And if there is a wrong thing going on, you are able to quickly deduce it and nip it in the bud.
All right, so I know there's probably one or two parents taking note of some things right now, but I want to go back to this issue of having an agreement.
Oh, yes.
You know, so what sort of agreement should parents have when it comes to parenting as a whole?
Okay, so you should have an agreement on your parenting style. Obviously, your the number of children. Okay. You know, sometimes these things take us unaware, but we need to remind ourselves. So finances, what sort of school will our children attend? Okay. Will they go to a private school? Will they go to a public school? What are your thoughts on childcare, nannies? Will we have a nanny? Will we have a live-in? Will we have a live-out nanny? What are your thoughts on discipline? Have I mentioned that?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on religion? Especially when you have different faiths. So who will the child, what religion will the child practice? Is it going to be both? What language will the children speak? That is if you are in an intertribal marriage like I am. So you need to have those conversations over and over again, because sometimes we plan this way, but life happens. So once in a while we need to take a big step back and say, okay, this one is not working. This our child seems a little bit difficult or different. So I think the way we are raising child A, we should be tougher on child B, or should be a bit softer on child B.
You know, everything you've said, I'm hoping that everyone listening right now has taken note of everything, because very, very key, having that agreement.
Yes. Having
that agreement is very, very important. I've noted that grandparents coming in,
in-laws, so would they
I'm
stay?
saying grandparents because those are the only ones I allow.
Okay.
Because I don't like the idea of, you know, the sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws actually, you know, coming
once
that
in a while they can come. But you need to have an
Mm.
agreement. Would they stay? How long would they stay? Who
No,
would
I
they
mean contributing.
Okay,
I mean
contributing.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a bit tricky. So you have to be, you know, our African value, Nigerian values, we are big on respect. You know, so it's so that you don't cause friction. Oh, are you trying to say I raised your husband? Are you trying to say I don't know how to raise my children?
Exactly.
So you have to be very. This is where diplomacy comes in, and an agreement.
Especially with regard to spanking these children.
Discipline. You know, grandmoms, grandparents, they love to pamper.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Are you sure they're not the ones to quickly spank?
Not really.
The children?
Even if they spank, they'll, you know, draw them back and give them everything. You know.
Wow. Physically spanking children, though, are you for or against?
So I'm in between.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes I realize the reason why a lot of moms, a lot of us spank our children is because we are tense, we are frustrated. You, this child, you are so stubborn, you know. So that even comes, that's another angle. Giving your kids tags and labels, you know. When you keep telling a child the child is stubborn, the child actually becomes stubborn and sees it as, you know, what he or she is. So we should also be careful, you know, while trying to discipline the child or comparing siblings. Why are you not as calm as your sister? Why don't you know maths? You know, why are you so playful? You are so destructive. You know, so while we are spanking, because we need to discipline them, we are also drawing them closely, have talks with them. I realize that they love it when you talk to them.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Okay, so those conversations with your kids might seem like, you know, very weird to you at first, but trust me, they get better and better. I have conversations with my kids all the time, and trust me, I think I'm learning from them more than they learning from
they teach
me
us a lot.
They do. And, you know, at this point, I think we have to ask people to reach out to us on social media.
Yeah.
Please, just make sure you visit our handle at TVC Connect. Make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Titi.
Jane,
Thank you.
Coming to visit us again. Please come back.
I will if you invite me.
Let's take a quick break. There's still so much more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Well, then again, you're welcome to one of the final segments for today's show here. And, of course, we have a very special guest with us in the studio here. We have with us Emeka Nwaborocha.
Yep.
This is the man cave right now.
This is the man cave, you know.
And you are welcome, man. Good to have you in the studio.
Yep. He has done quite a number of movies, Kasala. There's also my girls, Zena, and of course, the recent Rattlesnake. Yeah, well, just before we were talking about his character.
Yeah,
Snake.
Shango.
Shongo.
Shango.
Yeah. And you came today like your character is supposed to be a tech whiz or something, a hacker.
Yeah, he is like a hacker. Like he was at Computer Village before he was recruited to join the camp.
Wonderful. So Computer Village has some hackers there. Nice.
You do look like the geeky sort of guy. Are you that in real life?
Well, I would say I am like that most of the time.
You studied accounting, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And then into movies.
Yeah.
Now, this is often what happens in Hollywood. People from different walks of life.
Always remember, deserve a break.
Of course, that also adds to the art as well, because you can actually channel all of that. Is that the same with you as well? Is that your experience generally in Hollywood?
Well, I feel like I always had it as like, you know, when you're on a path and then you know that this is the path you're going to take eventually. So you're always going to lead into Hollywood. Right from primary school, it's always been drama and debate. Into secondary school and then into the university. And then when I was done, I was like, let's do this.
Tell you something. Let's check out a couple of the clips from, or maybe one clip from Rattlesnake, and then we'll be right back. Oh man, already looks like a box of crackers, man.
As in, wonderful, wonderful. I'm
Nice
looking forward.
one.
I'll go see that this week and all of that. You know, let's talk about the casting process. I know for a number of these movies, yes, there are stars, but something about this set of movies is that they've given a chance to unknown people or non
New Nollywood.
new
is what I
Nollywood
like
people
to
that you
call
don't
it.
get. Let's talk about the casting process. How did you get this role? How did you go for an audition? How was the process?
Actually, it was during the lockdown.
Okay.
So a producer, Judith, she sent me a message and was like that I would like you to make a recording for this character and send it to me. So I went through the script. I was like, why wouldn't she just give me this way? Why would she make me pass through this
process?
This process. And
Okay,
all
she
that.
knows you. She's a friend, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she sends it to me, and then I record and I send back to her. And then throughout the lockdown period, we were all battling the whole COVID scare and all that. And then after the lockdown was eased, she sends me another email and tells me, okay, I need you to come and read for this character now. So I still don't know what the character is all about or what the project is about. until I go to the auditions and then I see the list. And then I enter inside, and then I see Ramsey, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, what was his role for the movie? He's the director. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got two weird questions for you. First one is, what's it like with you and the girls?
What's it like with me and the girls?
Don't act like as if you don't know what I'm talking about, man. I mean, you're a good-looking man. Since after you've been on set you were on Sugar.
Yeah.
What were you there? Chinedu.
Yeah.
You were in Zena. What were you there? Digi or something like that?
Zena was an epic movie. I think I played Nazarene.
Nazarene, yeah. So what's it like with the members of the opposite sex since?
I think we're all cool.
Don't start. It's a real question. I want to know what it's like for Nollywood actors and all.
I keep it very professional and very professional.
Professional.
I'm friendly and professional.
Professor Emeka.
Yes.
The professional. I like that bad guy that answer like this. No, I keep it very professional and
Very political.
sure that
My second request is a thing I like to ask actors to do. I'm going to give you something very simple.
Wow.
I know I'm putting you on the spot,
Baba say wow.
Emeka, but I need you to help us act this out. It's a young accountant, so that's
so what
right
the
up your
prize
alley.
if this is done? What
It's
breakfast?
not
for
a
you?
prize, don't worry. Young
If you did,
young accountant Casanova knows his job, so he's a very proud guy. So if I was to ask you to give us like a character, I'd put a personality to it right here, right now. What would it come off as? I mean, just give us something, anything. I don't know. Like you walk into a studio and you meet the two of us, how would you react or interact with us as that character?
Good morning. Where's the manager?
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's nice.
It's all right.
Okay.
I'll
That's
take
cool.
it. I'll take that. I'll
That's
take
cool.
that.
So, but looking forward now, let's do a little bit of projection. Rattlesnake is quite good. How have the reviews
Quite
been?
good. It's actually good.
Okay,
Very good,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Wonderful. He's still in
Now
character.
it's Sorosuke.
Oh God, take up that character now before I off your mic now. Yeah, you're doing that. Sweet, I'll control the mic. Right, but wonderful. let's talk about reviews you've gotten from Rattlesnake, and then moving forward, projections, 5 years, 10 years. How far does Emeka hope to go in Nollywood, or maybe even further?
Reviews so far from Rattlesnake have been really good.
Okay.
Because I'm one person that I always like checking reviews. I may not maybe like or retweet them, but I'll see them. So I've been seeing really good reviews. You know, people are making like very audacious comments, which you go like. But then I've been seeing good reviews. And about 5 years, 10 years from now, I am one person. I don't beat against the wind. I am very, very conscious of whatever steps I make career-wise. I knew when I was coming into Nollywood the kind of movies I wanted to be a part of, and I went straight for that. And then even people back then, whenever I told them, see, these are the kind of films I wanted to do, right now they come back to me and they're like, oh wow, you said it and you're in there. So I believe in 10 years' time, I'm going to be a global voice in the media space. I know that as I know my name, and I'm not scared to say it, because I know that years from now, you're going to be there and you're going to say, he said it on my show, and it's happening. So I feel like it also involves strategic planning. It's not something that happens overnight. And positioning, and I feel like being part of Rattlesnake is also part of that positioning. You know, it's not just any movie. It has, like, you know, the possibility of going global and, you know, opening many doors and so many other opportunities. So I'm excited for my future as an actor.
That's right. Did I get that right?
Close.
It sounds very. What is it exactly?
It's Mwabarocha.
Mwabarocha. A certain facial expression that goes with it. You just did it again. But it sounds very familiar in Nollywood.
Familiar in Nollywood?
Yeah.
Anybody with that kind of name?
Anybody else?
I don't think so.
Are you related to?
No.
Not retard coming or anything? No,
nobody related to. Okay, let me see now. You know, no matter how great something is, there's always something that someone can learn from, right?
Yeah.
What is the most unpleasant thing you've heard about you or whatever you did in Rattlesnake?
Most unpleasant thing I've heard about me. People have actually been saying good things. Like, I've never like seen any. I mean, it for my character.
Okay. Emeka, be real. What? Tell us the bad thing.
Yes. You see it.
They keep saying, "Oh, you're so cute. You look so good on camera. You're so fine on the screen." So like, everybody is so like saying nice things about me for my character on the show. Nobody has ever said. No. I mean reviews online.
You know your friends. They'll see you. They can see you're ugly. They say, roast us. We are your palm kernel. Meanwhile, you're looking like palm kernel there.
But you saw the original Rattlesnake.
Yeah, I did.
You've seen it. I don't know how many years ago. I don't want to ask.
It's like 20 plus.
20.
I mean, that has a fancy. That has a
25. Okay. I'm sure you're older than 25 then.
I'm actually 25.
Okay.
Wow. So
okay, but you definitely had to see it.
Yeah, you had
What
to
do you think about that one and this one? If you had to juxtapose, or if you had to, well, not juxtapose per se, but if you had to put them side by side, what do you think was the storyline, story-wise, and all of that?
Well, in the case of like juxtaposing, you know, there are so many, you know, shortfalls that one had, and this one doesn't have. Like,
definitely because of the time.
Because of the time frame and a lot of things. But I feel like, you know, the two of them are telling a similar story.
Okay.
And, you know, just that it's time. Time lapse, you know, we have better cameras now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
so
better
quality,
effects, better makeup,
and all that. We even traveled out to shoot and all that. I'm not sure the last one had that. You know, so I really can't say maybe this one is better or this one is less. But I feel like both of them are movies that make a statement, and it's important to have movies that make a statement in the industry.
I like this, and I like what you're saying, because you see, when something is an adaptation, I mean, the first one had to be very good for you to decide to make a remake or to do on all of that, you know. What you can see there, of course, is a couple of clips from the original Rattlesnake and all of that. And in Kemowo, wow, we all had hair that time.
Inclusive of who?
Mazino, shut up. 2021, my God will come and fight for me against
It's all over for you.
Emeka, wonderful. I'm looking forward to what you have in store, you know, in your future, and I'll get to see Rattlesnake, and I'm looking forward to your character.
See it. You should see it.
I would
definitely.
I would this week. I actually would see it this week.
I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, no wahala.
It's
all right.
all good.
So, but because of what you did with that accountant, man, I mean, sometimes when you go, although when you saw Ramsey Noah, did you read in front of Ramsey Noah?
Yeah, I read in front of Ramsey Noah.
Okay, and that was how you got the role.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see any other contenders for your position?
Of course, there will definitely be other people that are reading for the particular role you're reading for.
Nice.
And the weird thing is that I was coming into that place practically nobody.
Wow. I like that zero to hero kind of story.
Yeah.
So, but hey, come on, we've got something suitable for hero, ambrosia for the gods and a hero. And I'll be in the kitchen.
Join us here. Let me give you some room.
Okay, this way.
Alrighty. Mary, how did you guys take care of our guests for now, yeah?
Yeah, take care of our guests. I will just chill here.
All right, so Emeka, today's chef is Chef Shebi Otimo, and she's prepared a fantastic breakfast. Tell us about this. What is it called? Tell us about it.
Egusi soup.
All right.
Eko agidi.
Egusi in the morning.
Taking so light.
It is.
You can actually eat this with any kind of swallow, but because it is in the morning, you did.
Now, this is made in our own signature way. She has a way of making it. There is no seasoning cube, let me warn you.
Wow.
So it's actually healthier. But you should try it.
Please.
Let's hear your verdict.
I'll start with the beef.
Okay.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Smart
does.
choice.
So what do you think?
You said no seasoning cube?
None.
None. Absolutely none.
Wow.
All right.
Locust beans and
Crayfish.
crayfish, grounded crayfish.
Wow.
That was all the seasoning in it.
All right then.
I'm liking the aspect.
Yes, sir. It's like you can't believe it.
Yeah, like, what?
Yeah.
No seasoning cube? I have a feeling he's going to start using a lot of locust beans and crayfish in his food now.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's good.
With a lot of onions.
A lot of
Yes,
onions.
that's another thing. That's another
All
thing.
right then. You know, I know the guys are probably very jealous of you right now. You know, wondering when they're going to come and grab their
No,
own.
I am not. I need to speak for myself.
Don't worry, knock yourself out. It's okay.
I need to speak for
quality
myself on this
control,
one.
Mike.
No, I am not.
Mike, did you hear what Chef Shebi Otimo called?
No, what did she say?
What did she say?
She said, our quality control Mike.
Yeah.
Your head is dearest. Your head dear the most. In all those people.
Just save some for us. That's all we're going to say.
All right, now at this point, it's time for us to say goodbye on today's show. Wow, we're finally at the wrap.
Tomorrow.
Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're going to be back again from 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Make sure you join us. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.